Welcome to the second part of my Introduction to Querious series. In this one we're going to be looking a little bit at the layout and geography of the region and what you can expect to find around us. Now we're going to start with the layout of Querious. The best way to see this is not actually with the in-game map, which shows you a lot of systems on top of each other, but instead the .land maps, which show you a logical layout of the systems and how you travel between them, rather than trying to be exactly accurate about where the stars are in space. So, without any further ado, welcome to Querious. The Brave website has supplied names for each of the constellations in the Brave controlled space of Querious, and I've put those names on this map. The constellation names don't see a lot of use, but they can still be handy labels, and they see a little bit of use on the Brave website in things like listing system upgrades. So this crudely scribbled on map shows the grey area, which is the area controlled by Brave, which as you can see is most of Querious. We do have two friendly alliances that we're sharing the space with. So to the west we have Sentinel Dawn, which has a single constellation starting with ZAU TAC JW. And to the south you have Severance with their two constellations. They are well established there and have their own market and central staging systems, but we often work together and you'll frequently see us sharing fleets. I've also marked some Ansible X jump bridges onto this map. Now these are always subject to change as they may be attacked or they may be moved or rerouted, but at the time that I drew that this was correct. So you can see that we have a bridge from 9CG to 3TAC-F, which is then one jump from low sec, and in fact EFA is then one jump from high sec and quite close to Amar. So this is the simplest route for bringing goods and ships in from high sec. However, there are some dangers to that route, which we will discuss later. We then have a bridge which is going from PTAC-Z itself, which is our home central staging system. From that station, you can then bridge directly down to 8QT, which you can see at the bottom left of the map with the test logo on it. The system of 8QT is also adjacent to Delve, so a simple jump will take you through into Delve, or it is adjacent to 49TAC-U, which is then allow you to go through into Catch, and there is also a jump bridge from there to the main Severance staging system in FTAC-N. So you can see that it's very easy for Severance and Brave to combine our forces, as we each just need a couple of jumps, and with the aid of the Ansible X jump bridges we can create a combined fleet. Sentinel Dawn also have their own force and so on, however we don't at the time that I make this video have any jump bridges set up. The jump bridges themselves are well worth knowing about, and there is also an extremely useful autopilot option that was added recently. So it's not turned on by default, but if you go into your autopilot settings you can set it to use Ansible X jump gates, and it will actually plot you the shortest route including the use of these jump bridges. So that's an extremely useful setting and I do recommend turning it on. There's a very useful page on the Brave wiki which is the overview of Brave space. So this uses the same names as I was just showing on the map for the various constellations, and for each of those constellations it lists what the primary safe haven is, which I have also highlighted in green on the map that we were looking at a moment ago. So you'll see the security band, which is an indicator of the security level of the system. In general, the higher the security band, the better quality spawns and anomalies you'll find. For example, you can see here in the southern delta we have some of the best ratting systems in our space, where we have a stead end pocket here which is a band E, and then we have multiple band D systems, and you'll see there are a few other band D and E systems around as well. So those are the systems which will have the best and the highest value spawns. However, they will also likely have the most competition for resources. So it is worth thinking about and looking at how heavily used each system is, as well as what resources are available. But you can see there is a full list of all the systems there and a good idea of what upgrades are installed. This may not be completely up to date, but it should be pretty close, and when you're looking around you can always confirm it by looking at what anomalies have spawned. So we've discussed the security band. The other thing you'll see here is the PDA level, so that's talking about the pirate detection array. So when you go into a system and you see a large number of anomalies that may be things like blood hub, blood port, haven, sanctums, that sort of thing, those have all been spawned as a combination of the security band of the system and the PDA level. There is a way to see exactly what you can expect to find on there. You can find those sort of resources online, but in general all you need to do is remember that the higher the letter for the security band and the higher the PDA level, then the better the anomalies you're going to see and the more of them you're going to see. The OPA level is the ore prospecting array, and that is very similar but for mining. So again, if you have a good OPA level in that system, then you can expect to see that there are mining anomalies spawning, and you'll be able to go in and use your mining ships and extract all of that lovely ore. So some of the best mining systems you can see, for example here in the Western Pocket, there are 3 which have an OPA level of 5, so that's the maximum possible mining upgrade. It only goes up to 5. This one here also has a pirate detection array level 5, and the security band is not great, but it's fine. So what you would expect to find is a good number of both mining and ratting anomalies to be present in that system, which is actually one of the hub systems. There's a Fortizar in there. The only catch with that is it's also likely to be a very busy system, which we will discuss what that means later on. So if we return to the map, you'll see that the main entrances into our space are down in the southwest, where we've got the connections from 8QT and 49 TAC through to Catch and Delve. We also have another connection into Delve in the northwest highway. Now, there are a number of systems which are not shown on here, which are technically part of Querious, and these are owned by Test, and the only way to reach them is through Delve. So many people refer to them as either fake Delve or fake Querious, and they aren't really, for any practical sense, part of Querious. They just happen to show up as Querious on the in-game map, when really the only way to reach them is through Delve. From the Northeast Highway, you have the connection through to Chiara, which is a low-sec system. That also connects through to a significant number of other low-sec systems and constellations in Canid, so it's an excellent resource if you're looking for low-sec. From that system you can then also move on into high-sec, or to get more directly into high-sec, as already mentioned, from Aoife it is a single jump into high-sec. So, sharing Querious with us, there are a number of friends and food. So the friends I've already mentioned is Severance and Sentinel Dawn. They're good guys, we work with them quite a lot and work with them closely, and we can expect to be doing that going forwards. So see what you can do to help them out. We should not really be ratting and exploring or anything like that in their space. If it's spawning in their space, it does belong to them, and we shouldn't be encroaching on that, and they also shouldn't be coming through into Brave space and doing ratting and such like that. The only exception to that is escalations. So if you're doing an anomaly and you get an escalation that takes you into, for example, Severance space in 3-TAC-J, then that's absolutely fine. You can follow that escalation and you can run that, but don't be tempted to run a few anomalies or whatever whilst you're there, unless the locals are telling you it's fine. Test obviously is a big presence. They're moving into and controlling Delve, and as I mentioned a moment ago, they have a section in Fake Querious that they are currently controlling. They also control 8QT, because that is one of the strategic keepstars on the keepstar chain. I don't know if there are any plans to transfer that to Severance at some point, or if it's going to stay with Test. But to all intents and purposes, even though it says it's Test space, that really is Severance area. In terms of foes, there are no large enemy presences within Querious. There are no hostile structures, no hostile poses, and no one other than us is holding sovereignty or iHubs, with one small exception. The first danger to be aware of is a group known as Exiled Gaming and their most famous, or if you prefer notorious member, Imbor. They are a well established and experienced pirate corporation that have been operating in and around Aoife for many years, and they know exactly what they are doing. They are not friends. They will attempt to destroy your ship, steal what they can, and ambush you should you provide them with an opportunity to do so. They are most active down and around the Aoife area, which is where they are based out of. However, be aware that they will often have eyes on the other side of the jump bridge. So if you are taking the jump bridge from 9CG to 3TechF, they could well have someone with a cloak watching you in 9CG, and don't be surprised that when you come through the jump gate you'll find a welcoming committee on the other side. They can't follow you through the gate, but they can ambush you on either side of it and try and stop you getting back through it. So just something to be aware of. They're there, they're good at what they do, and they will try and steal your stuff. In the other direction, if you follow the northeastern highway towards Kiara, you're likely to encounter Darwinism. They are based out of the low-sec systems up in Canid, and they have a substantial presence there, and so you will frequently find them roaming down into our space looking for trouble. Or if you wish to go and look for trouble, again, you can go and have a look in their space and see what you find. And then finally, if you go through into Catch, into our old holdings and our old space, then Dracarys has taken over that area. For the most part, they haven't made much in the way of incursions into our space, but they are enemies. They are allied to the Imperium. They will fight us if it comes down to it, and so you should be aware that they may come through that gate from 4-Tech 07 into 49-Tech U and try and cause trouble. And that concludes my introduction to the layout of Querious. I hope you'll find that helpful to orientate yourself and find your way around. Just remember to turn on Antiplex jump bridges on your autopilot settings, join Standing Fleet, get out there, do some roaming, and get a feel for the area. Thank you for listening, and I hope I'll see you in the next video.